So now it's a new year, new problems. Well, this was actually looked after yesterday, but there is still a little bit too much of a leak around the harvester head for my liking. I also started looking a little at the computer, and for some reason they have blocked some of the smaller diameter logs. I have to talk to the buyer about why that is in the list I've gotten. Because if I look at the price list, they don't list anything, that they only accept these smaller diameters on certain occasions, so I'll discuss that with them before any actual logging will be done, that I hope to be able to start in the very near future. The machine was brought out. I had the chain bar off and manually let it adjusted or forced started the lubrication of the chain, just to see that nothing was clogged in the small jets here. Missed the video of that, but well, it was a bit of a struggle getting the bar back far inside to hook the chain back on, but a little bit of tapping and it could be mounted again. Since the brake seems to release as they should now, that the outlet that was put there for bleeding was removed and plug was added, and then the cover for it. Took the machine out to bring down a couple of trees and see test doing a calibration for it, but when doing the forced calibration I can't get it to transfer the measuring points to the manual. I'm not sure what the English word is, but clave in Swedish, because it has that on it, and if it gets a control tree on random, or there is somewhere set number of the volume between the control trees, then it works just fine transferring the measuring points to it and testing that it seems okay. But when doing a manual calibration, it refuses to transfer them. And it's been a while, so looking at a few things here I get some error because I had tried starting a manual calibration, and for some reason I'm not sure, it complained about something. So started this one up. I think it could have been without power when it first tried to go, because machine's been sitting maybe. And then I brought out a couple of trees to the road to have some easier access than walking in the snow. Did process them, and was gonna try to transfer because the calibration was started, but it just refuses to transfer it. It creates an SPP file, it says, if anyone is familiar with the old Maxi computers and knows, have any suggestions, I would be very happy if you could help out with a comment. If not, I'll simply try to read through the manual again, but I'm not sure how well it's updated the computer, so the manual isn't super good for the computer part, and I'm not sure how well it's covered the transfer to the manual to do a calibration, but I'll bring that and have some evening reading next few days. We'll have to work a day or two. And here I tried several times to transfer it, and it's the different server modes. It's automatic and some other way. One it seems to like it transfers something, but when it gets a file it analyzes, but there is no data on it. I at least printed I could get a list of the length of all the logs that had been processed and the top diameter, and they are quite close. They're a little too long, so a little bit of calibration for length will need to be done, and for some reason the bigger the log is, the top diameter, the more off it is. The smaller diameters are quite close to spot on, so some diameter calibration might be required also. It was brought back inside, and I had seen one more hose. I had changed one in here earlier, and one more that feeds the cylinders that the pushes the rollers onto the tree looked quite bad, so I decided to change that. But here we got into some trouble. It's hard to get any video worth showing, and we had disconnected one at the wrong place because for some reason the parts diagram is not correct. The hoses don't go to the correct places, but they are working, so struggled for a long while removing one of those O-rings and replacing the hose that was not needed to be undone. Needed to trim the tool down, but could eventually get out the hose we were getting to, so we'll need to buy a new one of those and put this together. I have a little leak higher up also that I will look at. It might be one of those pressures adjuster. I've replaced a couple before.